All right, today we're going to talk about an iron that, so many people consider a modern classic, the Callaway Apex CF 16. Now, these came out way back in 2016, and they made a huge splash. But the real question, the one we're here to answer, is years later, are they still a smart buy? Do they actually hold up against all the new tech out there? Let's dig in. You know the feeling, right? Almost every golfer goes through this. You see those sleek, beautiful player's irons, and you want that look. But your game could really use the forgiveness that comes with a game improvement club. You want to have your cake and eat it too. So the question is, can one club really truly deliver on that ultimate compromise?
Well, this club right here, this was designed to be the answer. The Callaway Apex CF 16 was built from the ground up to bridge that exact gap. It was all about blending that amazing forged feel with modern, high-tech forgiveness. And that's the club we're putting under the microscope today.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what you notice the second you pick these things up. The looks, the feel, because let's be honest, with a club like this, that first impression, it's a huge part of the story. When you look at these, it's just pure class. You get this understated, elegant look with a beautiful chrome finish and really minimal branding. They don't scream at you, they just look serious. But it's not just about how they look. When you actually hold one, it's got this solid premium weight to it. You immediately know you're holding something special, something well built. And this is where they really pulled off a magic trick. When you set the club down behind the ball, it's got that gorgeous, compact head shape that better players absolutely love. But, and this is the key part, look closely. There's just enough width, just enough meat behind it to be really reassuring. It doesn't look like a scary blade that you have to hit perfectly every single time. It gives you confidence right when you need it most. So what does all that add up to? It's what we call bag appeal. These are the kind of clubs that just look sophisticated sitting in your bag. They turn heads. They project this sense of serious quality and craftsmanship before you even hit a single shot. All right, so they look fantastic, but that's only half the story. Those great looks are backed by some seriously impressive engineering. This is kind of the secret sauce that made the Apex CF 16 such a game changer when it came out. And the star of the show was this, Callaway's Cup 360 technology. Now, think about it like this. Instead of just a flat piece of metal for a face, they designed it like the rim of a cup. This simple but brilliant idea allows the entire face to flex and spring back when you hit the ball. For a forged iron at the time, this was absolutely revolutionary. So what does that actually mean for your game on the course? Well, you take that flexible cup face and you weld it into the forged body. The result? The face acts like a trampoline, which cranks up the ball speed, not just in the center, but across a much bigger area. And what's your gain? Well, yeah, you get more distance, but more importantly, you get way more consistent distance. Your shots fly a lot straighter, even when you don't catch it perfectly. And you know that CF in the name? It's not just a couple of letters they slapped on there. It actually stands for continuous face, which is just their fancy way of saying that sweet spot is massive. And this is what gives you that holy grail of golf. Incredible forgiveness when you miss it, but also the workability to shape your shots when you pure it. It's that rare combo we're all looking for. Okay, let's be real though. No club is perfect for absolutely everyone. So let's get into the scorecard here and take a fair, balanced look at the big strengths and, yeah, some of the potential drawbacks of the Apex CF 16. The good column is pretty stacked, right? You get an unbeatable mix of that buttery forged feel with a ton of forgiveness. You get surprisingly good workability, you get consistent, powerful distance, and the looks are just timeless. On the other side, the main knock is that the distance comes from some pretty strong lofts, which can sometimes make it a little tough to get the ball to stop quickly on firm greens. And look, while they are forgiving, they're probably not the best choice for a true beginner who really needs a super game improvement iron. And this spec chart right here really tells that story. A 7-iron with 31 degrees of loft and a pitching wedge at 45. For 2016, that was pretty strong. And it's a huge reason why these clubs are so long. It's just something you have to be aware of. So, we've looked at the design, the tech, the pros, the cons. Let's land this plane. Let's pull it all together for the final verdict. Are these irons the right fit for your game right now? So who are these really for? Well, the absolute sweet spot is that mid to high handicapper. We're talking maybe a 10 to 18 handicap. It's for the player who's ready to graduate to a more refined look and feel, but just isn't willing to give up that modern forgiveness.
But you know what? They also work incredibly well for better players, even single-digit handicappers, who just want a little safety net for those days when their swing isn't perfect.
So let's circle back to the big question we started with. Are the Apex CF16 still relevant today? And the answer is a loud, emphatic yes. Absolutely. In fact, for that type of player we just described, they might just be one of the single best values you can find on the used market. Period.
You know, sometimes a quote just nails it perfectly, and this one really does. The Apex CF16s weren't just another set of irons. They were a breakthrough because they so successfully blended the best parts of a player's iron with that modern forgiveness that, let's be honest, almost every single one of us can benefit from.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world where new iron sets are costing well over $1,000, it's worth asking yourself, could the absolute best value for your golf game be hiding in a modern classic that came out all the way back in 2016? When it comes to these irons, the answer might very well be yes.